from Jersey, baby, 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 baby. And you're not.
Back your hips up, down, up, down.
We're from Jersey, baby. From Jersey, baby. We're from Jersey, baby. We're from Jersey, baby. Baby, 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 and you're not.
Fuck this job, fuck you boss. Fuck your profit and fuck your arms. Fuck you, Linda, at the front desk too. Fuck God in the main room. Fuck yeah, this whole company can slap my lap. Fuck all y'all, fuck this job.
I feel like slapping a nigga today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I feel like slapping a nigga today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I feel like slapping a nigga today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. These motherfuckers on the road, where the hell they learn to drive? Jive turkeys at my job, about to get a cool, cold, mean five. Should've took the day off, might slap my boss. My own damn kids pissing me off, as if I hadn't had enough. Chipotle, fuck my goddamn order up. I'm fed up, I'm fed up, I'm fed up. I feel like slapping a nigga today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I feel like slapping a nigga today. I feel like slapping a nigga today. Oh, oh, oh. Bartender, don't you see me waving you down? This guy came after me, I was here first, but you serving him rounds. No, I bought the Uber here, my friends expecting me to buy it back. Tomorrow morning, I better get a cash app, or every last one of you motherfuckers getting slapped. Bet that. Whoa, I feel like slapping a nigga today.
You went out walking in the woods and had to pee, so you took your goods out under a brilliant sky of blue, yeah. But when your sorry little wang was bit by a poisonous serpent's fangs, your clever girlfriend knew just what to do, yeah. Then she blew ya, then she blew ya, then she blew ya, then she blew ya.
All right, you guys, podcast time. We got the equipment and the perfect business plan. Give our show away for free and tell no one how to find it. Ready? I'm going to start a podcast that has no focus, and it'll take up an inordinate amount of time.
Hey, everybody. Welcome into, what day is it? Thursday-ish edition of the Boomer Bunker.
Thursday.
I am one of your comorbidly obese, not comorbid, just morbidly obese co-host. Oh, I can see it's going to be one of those days. My name's John Jamingo.
There you go.
And alongside of me is my slightly stressed and crazy co-host, the Duchess.
It's been a week. Hello, everyone.
And I'm a little sad. Producer Mike's not in my back end tonight, which is a little tough. But that's okay. We will forge on.
We let Mike escape John's back end.
Yes. He does a great job. Hello there, Bruce. How's it going? Was on Bruce's show this morning. I was a little down in the tooth today. About I was getting ready for the show, and it's just, I don't know. I'm sorry, but I just think it's over.
Sad, bummer.
Yeah, it's over. We've lost. I'll get into all that. I don't want to do this right away. I'm ranting later. I will be very ranty later. But I've just had enough. I'm watching it. You think it's the rain? Yeah, it's been raining the past couple of. You know what they say?
Yeah.
You know what the Jimmy always says? More rain, more grass grow. That's what the Jimmy would say.
No, He makes money.
Yeah.
Needs the grass to grow.
And guess who forgot to put the thing in for Rumble so that Rumble would be ready to go? This
Yes.
guy. He
Sorry,
did.
folks.
I did.
Oops. Well, I commented that Rumble's down. So
Yeah, thank you. But listen,
Yeah.
very excited today because later on we are going to have a new segment that I'm going to actually need you to help me with, everybody out there in the audience. It's called Duchess Reacts. And yes, I am recording. Yes, I am recording. Duchess Reacts, where we play Duchess a video and she reacts to the video. She has not seen it. She has no idea what's going on. And we get her reaction. So I'm very excited about that.
Okay.
So there you go.
So this is one reason why you should also watch the stream. So you can always catch it, not tonight on Rumble, but on YouTube. You can find it on X, Facebook.
What I will do is I will take this video after we're done and I will upload it to Rumble.
Okay,
You know.
well, there you go.
Yeah, I'll do that. But
No pressure if you don't, because then we still have other platforms where you could watch it. So.
Exactly. Thank God. There's so many platforms I can't really make that much of a mistake. But here's the deal.
Yeah.
One of the things I'm going to love about Duchess Reacts is that I feel that I can clip that. And that'll be a perfect segment to send out.
No,
to social media.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Absolutely. It's definitely going to, well, I don't know if we might get taken down from
We'll have to put it on
TikTok
X
or something like that.
The only place you could put it.
No, I think Instagram would take it. I think Facebook, YouTube, definitely Rumble. I don't know when to do it though, because I don't want to do it in the very beginning because it's very video heavy. I think we're going to wait until the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah, towards the end of the show. It makes sense.
Yeah, just do it towards the end of the show.
Yeah.
All right.
Give you a reason to stick around.
Yes. Oh, quick question. Because Monday is Memorial Day.
It is.
Will we be doing a show Memorial Day?
I mean, I'll be home. Do you want? Would other
what
people
am I
be
doing?
around?
I'm not doing anything. I'm like an old curmudgeon. I sit in here down in the basement and I figure out shit. That's all I do. I don't do anything. So if you want to do a show Monday, we'll do a show Monday. But I don't even know how many people will be here because everybody be out living life, putting their feet in grass,
Or
recovering.
water. Down by me, it's definitely going to be on the beach.
Down by you.
Yeah. Well, so Sparky says the parades will be over by 2, but everybody will be drunk by 5. So
yeah,
just saying, or maybe they're sobering up by then. Who knows?
This might be a good week to tell your friends when they're drunk. Hey, listen, you got to see these. You got to see this guy, this lady, and her nitwit sidekick do a show.
Bruce says we got a few folks said they'll be here. Let's do it. Let's do it. Doing it live.
So you know how I am the self-proclaimed best kept secret in podcasting?
For good reason.
Yeah, I'm slowly losing, like Howard Stern, I'm slowly losing my moniker because of things that I do. So I know somebody from a different platform. Her name's Bridget Fedesi. She has a show called The Dumpster Fire and a podcast called Walk-ins Welcome. And she started this new thing that she does on Zoom where she brings people in. So I go and I'm sitting there. And because you know how I did Brand X, I made the vintage Brand X.
Right.
And then, and then for the date, I always said May 31st, 2016.
Right. So it's different. So people are aware that's the new date. That's the when it aired originally. Yes.
Well, this platform she's on is in Zoom and you can bring people in. And I could not figure out why my voice sounded like this through the program. Like she's talking to me. And I'm like, why do I sound like a 50s guy with a megaphone? Why am I doing?
Yeah.
So then after I get done, I look and I go, oh my God, I had the megaphone. You know, if I had this.
If I had this voice on, I would have known what I was doing. But
no, that didn't work. Or even this one. I like this one a little bit. It's a little deeper.
A little bit.
So they were talking about AI and how people are very telephony. Yes. But then, so you know me, how I'm a stickler for good audio. An audio snob, they would say. Some might say an audio snob. Well, she's on the show, and this jerk off is out walking with his phone, and he's talking, and they bring him on, and he's fading out. And he's and I'm like, throw him off. I can't take it anymore.
Yeah,
then she
bring
brings
back the
me
telephone
on.
Guy.
Right, she brings me on, and I'm like, so anyhow, let me just tell you how what I. So they're talking about how AI takes your jobs, it's taking jobs away, and people are losing. This writer, he lost his job, and Another lady who was working for the government, she got doged. I'm like, doged? Yeah. So all the people
That's
that
a
got
thing
laid,
now. Yeah.
getting doged. And I'm like, well, they used to say there ain't no job like a government job. For the simple reason was you never got laid off. Once you were in a government job, you were in there for life.
There for life.
But they just kept expanding and expanding and expanding. And again, we who work in the private sector have one time or another been downsized because of economic reasons. There's, in 1982, we had a recession. It was terrible. Then in 2008, 2009, there was another one. I remember I was working as a supervisor in the elevator business. I was running service teams. And when I started in 2008, I had 6 service teams. By the time I got done, I had 2. We had laid off 4 teams because there just wasn't any work. There wasn't any work. So they had to lay off teams. And so people in the private sector have been dealing with this forever, but people in the government sector have not. So they're out there right now and they're going, oh my God. I'm sorry. I wanted to read that. And I didn't get
go
to
ahead.
it.
My bad.
There ain't no thing like a private job with a government contract. That ain't going away. Maybe you might be, Cody. You might be right. That could be possible.
Welcome, Cody.
Yeah. So my theory is that, AI is going to cost people a lot of jobs. And what are we going to do with all these people? So now everybody wants to be a plumber because when your toilets, but okay. When I was younger, we had shop, we had wood shop, metal shop. And then the other thing was
industrial arts and all that stuff.
Yeah. And the other thing was that nobody, like if you needed to do some plumbing work, if you needed to fix a faucet, you fixed it yourself. You didn't call a plumber. You only called a plumber is if you had to dig, like if they had to dig the sewer line out.
There's a comedian I heard that said, like, times you call a plumber when your shit backs up into your tub, call a plumber.
Or
ring a ding. Yeah.
Yeah. Or you just take the Roto-Rooter thing. You go down. We used to go to it was called Y Buy Rental. You could get any tool at Y Buy Rental.
Oh yeah. Oh,
and you would go in there and you'd Roto-Rooter the drain. And then, we talked about it before. One time my daughter's
terrible.
They had the bathtub.
Oh, the hair.
Yes, I took the drain, the thing off the drain, and I reached down with a pair of pliers, and I pulled out a rat snake of hair that had to be 3 feet long.
Yeah. Well, you also had 4 girls, so and your wife. So I mean,
right.
That's a lot of hair.
Yeah.
I mean, with our girls here, at one point we only had the one shower, one full bath, and man, that used to clog up. And that was Paul's job. He'd pull that out, and the 3 of us would be like
smell,
it's
the
like
smell
death.
would
It's
make you gag. Yeah, it's horrible.
Horrible. Those you take all my money. I don't want to do that. Absolutely.
Yeah,
not.
but I mean, I learned how to roof a house. The roof on our house was leaking. My dad's like, okay, here's a shovel. Here's my father. He went to Home Depot. He bought like 4 or 5 flat shovels and took a grinder and grinded notches in it. And you went up on the roof and you
pulled the nails, right?
Pulled the nails and the shingles up, right?
Yep.
And then you threw them in a dumpster. And then we roofed the house. We roofed the whole house. Just us. Me, my dad, my uncle. I think that Jimmy was there and Michael were there on a weekend. We roofed the house.
I helped roof this house.
Yeah.
It's awful. I mean, I don't want to do it again, but I did it.
I can't even how long ago it was, but we did my mother-in-law's house.
Yeah.
We had the nephews over doing the one work and we were just up there and we just,
Well, that's it. You get the young guys to boom the shingles up. We couldn't put the shingles on our roof. We had to carry them up because the roof was just not structurally. You just couldn't put a fucking pallet of shingles on one spot. So we had our next door neighbor who brought his football player son, who of all things was scared of climbing the ladder. He was scared of heights. So his father's like, don't be a pussy, get up on the ladder. I was like, oh my God.
Exactly.
The kids up there like, terrified.
I think my junior year in high school, I worked for my cousin, not one of Jimmy or Michael, but I worked for another cousin who was in construction. And that's all I did in the summer. Was he was roofing and I carried 80-pound bundles of shingles 2 at a time. He caught you going up the ladder with one thing of shingles, he would yell at you.
Yeah, make it worth your time. Yeah, I bet you were probably in amazing shape by the end of the summer.
160 pounds. Yeah. 2 bundles of shingles are 160 pounds. You go up
so heavy.
And then boom, they would take them off your shoulder and then you go back down. And that's all you did all day was bring shingles up.
That's like better than any gym workout, really. That's exhausting.
It never even affected me back then. It was like no big deal.
Yeah. Well, because you're young. You're young.
But you try to get a kid today to go carry shingles up on a roof.
Well,
it's just not happening. But it doesn't matter because we're all gonna die because of AI.
Oh, there you go. But you contribute to AI.
I do. Well, there is some good things about AI. AI it helps people like me who can't afford things. Well, I shouldn't say that because I paid for it.
No.
Like the show notes that I do here for this show is AI generated. Bud Vugger, he's helping. He uses Chat GPT for a lot of the artwork that we do here.
I think there's a lot of fun to AI. I mean, it can be used for good. But I think when it's at the point where it's taking over people's jobs, it's a little spooky because now you're just replaced by, they're not calling out sick. They're not making up any bullshit. They don't have to go out for a break. They don't have to use the bathroom. It's just constant. It's just done over and over and over. And if there's no mistakes.
Either you learn how to make robots.
Yeah.
Right.
You control the destiny.
You're on the assembly line making robots or, something in that thing.
You're in the trades. You go in the trades. Yeah.
This is the best for, I think it was $1,200. You can buy a lawnmower that is Bluetooth. All right. And with your phone, you can take the lawnmower, it starts up, and then you can run it around your house while you're sitting in your house. And there's a camera on the front of it. So you can.
So it's like an RC lawnmower.
It's like a radio controlled lawnmower.
Yeah.
You don't even have to go out
like your phone's like the servos and you drive it up and down.
Yeah. Ride it back and forth, back and forth. I think it was like $1,500. I was like,
that's crazy.
Is it? How much is lawn service for a year?
I don't know. I mow the lawn. I don't care.
I understand.
I'm too cheap. I won't pay for that. Yeah. I don't have a big lawn. It's just enough where it's the front yard and the backyard,
In the 80s, nobody paid for lawn service.
No.
The only lawn service, if you had
rich
acres
people
of
did.
grass.
Rich people.
Yeah, if you had acres of grass, you paid for lawn service. If you just had a regular lawn.
You had kids. That's what they did. That's what you did on the weekend.
Mower.
Right?
Right. Yeah, I mean, you're rich if you had a riding lawnmower. Oh my God, a riding lawnmower. Holy cow. Oh, look at the Jamingos over there with their riding lawnmower.
They're fancy. Yeah.
The hoity-toity Jamingos over there with their Craftsman riding lawnmower.
Were you the hoity-toity Jamingos?
See, my father would find these things like these lawnmowers. I remember
on the side of the road, throw them in the back of the car.
When I was like 12 years old, we had a 3-wheel lawnmower. It was a riding lawnmower. The front wheel was like on a stick, and you would just. And of course, my dad souped the motor up, and he got mad because, like, if you went backed up and then you floored and you put it from reverse to forward, it would spin wheels and lift the front end off the ground. And he would get mad at me. He would get mad at me. He's like, "You're tearing up the lawn." I'm like, "How are you supposed to?"
It's a piece of shit.
Yeah, I can't help it that this thing wants to pull the front end off the ground every time we're mowing.
You got to do it like 1 mile an hour. It's like as soon as you start to rev it, it'll be. My sister-in-law is very like, she's vegan, she's Democrat, she has an electric lawnmower,
I hate her already.
I love her. I love her to pieces. She's wonderful.
Sure, she's a very lovely person.
I would never introduce you to. Ever, never. Oh my God, the world would explode. But she's out there and she's not so religious about mowing the lawn. So so she goes out and when she mows, it's like, the weeds are like 8-9 inches high. And then I don't blame her. I don't want to mow the lawn either. So she finally goes out and does it. And the lawnmower's like, because it's just a fucking electric lawnmower. She like burned it out. And that electric weed whack, like she brings it here. Paul fixes them, sends them back. And then she just fucks them up again. And he just keeps fixing them for her. He's like, you should just buy. But if she got a gas one, then she just let the gas sit in it and sit outside and it would just clog up and get all fucked up anyway. And Sparky says she's very high maintenance. She's her own high maintenance. Like I don't deal with that. Like I love her to pieces. She's a wonderful person. I love her as a human being. But I don't think we would just hang out.
I think you're going to go back into like the 50s and 40s and all, where you're going to start growing your own food and having chickens. Remember chickens back in the day, they were poverty food. If in the Depression, if you had chickens, that was so you could eat. So you're going to have chickens and you're going to grow your own food. You're going to mow your own lawn. You're going to fix your own things. You're just not going to throw things. Your toaster goes bad. You don't just throw it in there. You figure out what. Yeah, you go in and fix it. Figure out what happened to it. Fix it. We're going to go back to that, I think.
Did your dad save everything? Like my grandfather did. When my grandfather passed,
Yeah.
he had 2 sheds. Like at that one, they had a garage, and then when they moved to when he passed away, they had 2 sheds, and it was stuffed full of. I think it's the mindset of the times because he was born in the 20s, so it was just one of those. He saved everything. He had like balls of twine,
Oh.
but not bad, but like useful things, like things you can like if you go to buy them now, the quality is lesser. Like we have like we still have a ton of his tools, like nuts and bolts and screws. They're not made the same.
I'm telling you
now that they were then.
My
So-
father had a wooden box that was the
Mhm.
size of a pizza box, and it was about 3 inches high.
Mhm.
And any kind of job he was done with and any kind of hardware he had left over, he would throw in that box. And he would say to me, I don't know how old I was, 13, 14. He'd say, "Hey, I need 3 bolts, 1/4 about an inch long. Go in the box and go get them."
Go in the
So
box.
you're in there,
You knew what
you
we
got
meant, right?
you got a nail and you're digging in the box trying to find 1/4, and it was just a box of hardware. There we go. Metal coffee cans full of nuts and bolts and nails. Yeah, exactly.
Tons of
Never
them.
separated anything, just everything in a box. And I'd say, "I can't find any."
Get in the box. I mean, go to the box.
He'd go, "What the hell?" He'd go in there and he'd dig around and go, "Look, here's one. Here's one. Here's one." He'd find it. He goes, "All right, look, I get some 1/20 nuts." Okay, all right. He said, "You're worthless." And out we would go. I mean, so you'd go in there and
Your
you'd be
father's
like,
such a motivational speaker
you're
kind of
trying
guy.
to find
Like,
something. You're like,
you're worthless.
I can't find this. And if he comes in and finds this, I'm going to have
He's like
feel-
Ralphie's dad. What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
Get me the 9/16. Here, take them. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like
'cause
my dad would ask me for tools. He didn't know what the fuck he was doing either. So he'd send me, and I'm like, like
Well,
screwdriver. Come back with like a handful. Here.
I was
like,
a flashlight holder. You know,
Oh,
my
the
dad would do something.
worst.
I have to hold the light. So you're holding the light or something, and you're watching what he's doing. And you're not paying attention.
And
Light
then the
starts
light
to
goes
drift.
down. Move the
and he would
light.
turn around and backhand you.
Ah!
Where's that light go? Where's the light? Is the light where we're working?
In my eyes right now. I'm blind.
because
See
I'm watching.
stars.
It's typical Pollock watching my mouth open. Just with my mouth open.
Can you imagine today you'd be holding it with on the phone.
Right.
Like, oh, your father. Can you even imagine your father dealing with that today?
Well, now they have the thing where you put the light on your head.
I know,
The
it's
light
great.
that goes on
Like
your
the
head.
miner's
which is-
helmet. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. We used to use them in the elevator business all the time. You'd
only
go
have so
in,
many
you'd
hands,
have the
you know?
miner's hat on, turn it on, and it would light everything up that you're working on. It was great. It's
think it's great.
fantastic. But anyhow, sorry about all this.
Oh,
Back
the,
in
the,
the day.
drift. Back in the old days.
Back in the old days.
Rat. Yeah.
All right. So this weekend is Memorial Day weekend. So
Yes, it
tomorrow, everything down the shore, as we call it,
Oh, the traffic
the
already.
traffic. And
Ah,
but one of the
all
things
all
that
the bennies. Mm-hmm.
a lot of the bands now are
Mhm.
going down to the shore to go to the bars down the shore because Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Here I am with my South Street. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
These bands that are there.
Yeah.
So we have the first. I guess it's the first controversy of the.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this will be playing not Memorial Day weekend, but actually the weekend after. But it kicks off the season. So
Right.
bars are crowded normally, but now all the bars are just stuffed full of people. All the college kids are back, and it's just bonkers.
So here we go. Jersey Curse and Mercy News Post.
Do you want me to read this?
Go ahead. You do it. It's
Okay.
your story.
All right.
Please.
So Bruce Springsteen cover band has been canceled from playing at Riv's
Canceled?
Hub. Canceled due to politics. So a musician in the band, Guy Fleming, states, "I really can't believe this happened, but it did. I'm slightly reluctant to share," but he does. "However, I feel it's in the best interests of my friends and fellow musicians in New Jersey, especially the Toms River area. My band, No Surrender, was scheduled to perform May 30th at Riv's Toms River Hub. We were hired as a Bruce Springsteen tribute act." Sidebar. They're very popular around here. People love these tribute bands. There's quite a few. Now back to the article. "Unfortunately, the owner contacted us after Bruce made comments that upset him. The owner told us he didn't want us playing in his club. Our response was simple. We understood that it was his establishment and felt terrible he was that upset. We offered to play completely different music, explained to him that all 9 people in the band are professional musicians that play in numerous different bands, and when you book us months in advance, we black out those dates as booked. And when you cancel a week in advance, It financially hurts the musicians in a band because they lose a day's pay. Whoops. They lose a day's pay if they can't find another gig. I explained to the owner that he wasn't hurting Bruce, but he was really hurting 9 New Jersey musicians he booked to play at his club. He said his clientele and Tom's River is red, and they won't tolerate his bullshit. That's the quote line right there. He says, I explained that we wouldn't play any Springsteen music. Still, he said no. So there you have it. Riv's Tom's River Hub. So the thoughts were, this is on Facebook, of course, where all the news happens.
There's Riv's Tom Rivers Hub.
Tom's River Hub. And it said, so what are your thoughts on Riv's canceling the gig? Within the hour, there were over 1,000 comments on this post that range from like good on them to
right now it's 1,300 over 1,300 comments on there.
So
let's look at a few of them.
Yeah. Okay.
As the owner, he can do as he wishes. If you had a contract to play, verbal or written, he should pay you for the amount you were promised. I'd file a complaint if you were not paid. I agree with this.
I think it's shitty for them to cancel a gig a week in advance.
Here's
really
another
crap.
guy. Mm-hmm. I totally understand the owner's dismay with Springsteen's comments about the president and that he and I support. However, if the band was willing not to play any of Springsteen music and play totally different music from all artists, I think that was see more. I don't know what else see more.
Well, you click it and it extends.
I know
you didn't.
that.
Oh, I didn't realize. I thought this was a live comment. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And totally play different music from other artists. And I think that the management of Rivs is being too harsh in punishing the band. They are not the ones that made the comment. Just because they play the music, they should not be punished for things that come out of the mouth politically. Mm-hmm. All right. So here's my thoughts.
Yeah, I'd like to hear yours. Go ahead.
This owner is a douchebag.
Yeah. No,
He's a douchebag. It's a Bruce cover band. Of course, Springsteen's a jerk off. We've known that for years. We've known he's been, he's a Democrat, socialist, communist. But then again, I repeat myself. But apparently, people like his music. I'm not one of them. Would I go see a Springsteen cover band? No. But I'll tell you who would. A lot of people down New Jersey would. So
a lot of people looking to spend money would.
Yeah. So this band has blocked out dates. They're probably there. Usually it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and with Memorial Day, even Monday. So it's probably like 3 or 4 days that they booked. That's a lot of money for these people. And now they're out that money. And that's not right. It's not right.
It's kind of bullshit. Mm-hmm.
What I think, Bruce, being the guy that he is, should figure out how much he was charging and take money out of his own pocket and pay the band. If Bruce Springsteen was smart, he would he'd say, you know what? I just found out that a band that used to play my music as a tribute band was at Tom's River, and they canceled state because of my politics. And back in the day, back in Jersey, you could have a difference of opinion and people wouldn't get fired for it. So you know what I'm going to do? I got a few bucks tucked away. I think I'm going to take that money and find that band. I'm going to pay them for that weekend. And you know what, Tom? You could take your politics and shove it up your ass. And that would be amazing. That would make me feel better about Bruce Springsteens.
Bruce Springbean?
Springsteens. Bruce Springsteens.
There you go. Bruce Springbean.
Bruce Stringbean's music. God damn it. Got to write that down.
Yeah.
Bruce Stringbean.
Bruce Stringbean. Sparky said 3rd time's a charm.
Hey, Budvugger, I need a Bruce Stringbean artwork.
Yeah, with the white T-shirt and the pocket with the bandana in it, please. Just the back.
Yes, with a guitar.
With the guitar. All right. So I agree 100% with you. I think it's a total douche move to cancel a band because, all these bands book up for the summer months in advance. This is not a little gig. And again, to coordinate 9 musicians to come and as they do and set up their gig, that's a shit move. It really is. Look, I get it. I'm not a Bruce Springsteen fan enough where I'm going to go see him in concert. But if there was a local band and I had nothing to do, I'd probably go see him. Or if there was a cover band that played down here locally at the park, and it was a great show. It was a good show because people like it, and it doesn't matter because sometimes the music. You just need music. And if you can get into that and just get into the music and enjoy the show, and you don't have to think about it. But now everything has a message. Everything's political. And I think this was a poor move on this particular guy. And if I was going to go to his restaurant, which I hadn't been, I'm not going now because he's a douche. That's how he treats
lose
people.
Money. He's going to lose money. People are going to they're going to say, hey, where's the band? Oh, I didn't fire them because they were playing Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah. Well, and the fact the band offered, they have a whole catalog of stuff. It's not like they know 15 Bruce Springsteen songs and that's it. I mean, they literally offered, we won't do any. I mean, people may have come to see it, and he still said no, but they did manage to get another gig. So they have they'll be playing at the Headliner in Neptune. So good on them.
Good on them.
I think this will give them more PR where people will go down to the Headliner. If you're familiar with the Headliner, I would assume you might have been to the Headliner. It's a dive. It's in Neptune. Yeah.
They've been in Neptune.
Okay. Well, I thought maybe if you've been up to like Belmar, it's like right the
farthest north I've been was the Stone Pony in Asbury Park.
Oh, it's right. You you have to drive through Neptune.
Again, I'm from South Jersey. We went to see the Stone Pony to see Southside Johnny and the Asbury Jukes.
Oh, so Bruce wannabe. Yeah.
Yeah, a Bruce wannabe.
Yeah.
But we went there one time to watch it. Oh, and it was just fun to go to the Stone Pony because of the
iconic.
Yeah, the bar. So we did go there one time, but I'm a South Jersey guy. I don't go the furthest north I would go for a bar would be Margate, because we used to go to Memories in Margate back in the 80s where the Mafia guys
Sounds
were.
like an 80s bar.
Yeah, but I when I grew up, we went to Avalon, so there was Seattle City, which was there was 2 bars there, the Ocean Drive and Springfields was there, and then in Avalon there was the Phil's Bongo Room and
Phil's Bongo Room.
Phil's Bongo Room. Oh, it was a big old giant hotel.
I have visions like Ricky Ricardo, like blah, 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 blah.
It was a huge house, and it was right 1 block off the ocean.
Oh,
and it was so big that they would have 2 bands there. Mm-hmm. So the one band would do their set, and then they would say, all right, we're going to take a break. And with that the lights would go down. On the other side, the lights would go up, and the other band would start playing their set. So it was constantly back and forth. Yeah, they tore that down.
And there was no pause and a breakdown for the band, like a half hour. So just
there was the Prince. Yeah, there was the Princeton, and there was Jack's Place, and there was a couple other bars down in Stone Harbor. And then when you went to Wildwood had you couldn't swing a dead cat without hitting a bar in Wildwood. I mean, it was amazing. It was the penalty box, and there was all kinds of. I remember this one place you used to go. You'd get 7 7-ounce beers for $1. It was crazy.
Oh,
back in the day,
7-ounce. Okay, so
7-ounce Pilsner glasses of beer for $1. Then it went up to $1.25, and everybody lost their mind. What?
We have to carry a quarter. God damn it! Oh my God, how drunk did you fuckers get?
Oh, it was ridiculous.
Must have been slamming those back.
I'll never forget. We rented a house down in Wildwood for the week.
Yuck.
And
is it all dudes?
No, it was couples, kind of like couples.
Okay.
So there's 5 couples. There's 10 of us. So we go to this bar and we're drinking, and so we get back and we're back in here, and there's 2 guys, and they're like, we're going to go swimming in the hotel across the street. Well, they say no swimming. There's a signs, no swimming. Police will be called, blah, blah, blah. They don't care.
Climb the fence.
Go over, climb the fence, jump in the water. They're just and then what do these nitwits do? They get out of the water. They walk. I'm going South Jersey. They get out of the water and they go back and they walk all the way back to the house. So the police come and they follow the footprints. So I'm sound asleep. Bang, 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 bang. What the hell? So I get up, I go downstairs and go, which one of you guys were in the pool? I said,
huh?
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. He says, look. And they fought, and I'm like, oh my God. Hold on. So I go, hey. So they go, what? They come walking out and they got towels around them. I'm like, the police are here.
Them.
And they come in and they go, get dressed. They arrested them, took them down for trespassing. Yeah,
book them, Dano.
Yeah. Well, the police department made all kinds of money arresting nitwits down there.
Of course, because who's coming back to argue? Nobody. They schedule it like out of season or 3 weeks after you're gone, and you just pay the fine.
They're yelling at me. Oh, you turned us in. I'm like,
you're standing there in a towel, you asshole.
I said, you walked in, the watermarks went all the way to your room. You could see it on the rug. It was wet all the way to your room.
Your footprints.
What am I supposed to do? What do you think? I'm getting arrested because you nitwits wanted to go swimming?
I got a chick in my room. I'm going back.
You could have went in the ocean and swam. No, you're going to jump the fence over and then walk across the street to the house. And the police came and followed the wet footprints, and it's my fault. You're an idiot.
Fucking dragging it out there like
fucking morons.
It didn't take a brain surgeon to find them.
No, it did not. All right.
Those idiots. Cops just look at the footprints.
He's like, I said, what do you mean? He says, the cop says, look, and you can see the wet footprints, two of them, all the way back to the house. I said, oh, hold on. I'll get them. Idiots.
I'm going back to bed.
Good old-fashioned police detective work, yeah. I'll tell you one thing. It was so hot. Usually down the shore, there's always a breeze. There's always like a 10 to 15 mile an hour breeze, and it's always nice. And this week, there was no air whatsoever. It was so hot.
Ugh.
So we went to the local Kmart, and we bought a bunch of box fans, and we opened them up real nice. We took them out of the bags real nice. And we saved everything, and then we used them all week, and then we packed them up in the bags.
Brought them back.
And brought it back and got it with the receipts and got our money back.
Yeah, I didn't like these fans.
Yeah, they didn't seem
all
to
12
fan.
of them.
They weren't 7 of them. It wasn't. They weren't really doing. I think we want our money back. They gave it to us.
Yeah. Well, you had the receipt. I mean.
Yeah, we had the receipt.
I'm sure they dealt with that all the time. No wonder Kmart's out of business.
Yes, it's because of Jamingo. Jamingo returned 7 box fans in 1984. I think it was.
They should have put notes on this shit, like not return, like at the Super Bowl, like the week before the Super Bowl, like can't return any electronics, you can't return anything. Oh my god!
All right, listen.
So yeah, all these nitwits are coming down this weekend. The traffic is already backed up.
I can imagine. All right, I got to get into this book, The Original Sin, where Jake Tapper, fake Yapper, Jake Tapper, is now on tour. And say what you want about Jake Tapper. He went on the Megyn Kelly show yesterday.
That took some balls. I'll give him that.
Took some balls.
I'm sure she took them from
for
him.
the first 30 minutes of the show, she ripped him a new asshole. So much so. Now, listen, I do not like Jake Tapper at all for what he's doing here. I think this book it should be written, but he should not be making a dime off of this, especially how he basically juggled the Biden administration's balls.
Made money off of this in every way.
And licked their taint, and now he's making money at it. And she, for a half an hour, ripped him and had receipts and audio and video of him doing this. And he just sat there. He had nothing to say.
He had to take it.
So much so that after half an hour, I'm like, okay, Megyn, let him up.
We get it. We get your position.
Enough.
Gotcha.
So here is Megyn going after Jake Tapper.
Asked Joe Biden to be transparent about his health records in an interview in 2020. I did ask him about the fact that voters thought that he was not transparent at all. No,
he promised you that he would be transparent about his health records, and then he wasn't. And when you sat with him again,
at all.
including 1 month after the Jackie Walorski thing, you didn't ask him about it. You didn't follow up on the fact that he was falling up the stairs, that he was losing his train of thought regularly, that he was slurring, that he was incomprehensible, that he was getting lost on the White House lawn. You sat right across from him and you asked none of that, notwithstanding the fact that he had promised you he would be fully transparent about his health issues. You know as well as I do that there's a way of, you can say, hey, there's this poll on your age, or you could say, you just forgot that Jackie Walorski was dead. You asked where she was moments after watching a videotape tribute to her.
He's rubbing his brow. He's like, oh no.
And the other guy's like, just like, what is it? Like he wants to fade into the bushes. Just
after she got done with, after she got done a half an hour on Tapper, she did about 10 minutes on the other guy. The other guy's not as bad, but I just want to play a little bit more of this because.
Are you playing it at a fast speed?
No, I am not.
Why is she sounding like she's Sparky said she's had way too much coffee?
Maybe she was ready for this. She gave this guy a lesson in journalism.
She needs
and
to
he
eat
just
something. She's
and they're supposedly friends. They're supposedly friends.
You lowered the flags at the White House after she died. This happened 13 days before you sat with him. There is a way of pressing a man like that on the actual infirmities to bring it home to him and to the audience, and you didn't do it. It wasn't just that. I mean, you sat with him a couple of times in the course of his presidency, and these issues were not pressed. Well, there was at least that time, and then there was the time at the beginning. And but separate and apart from that, you covered the Biden's presidency. No. Let me just finish my point. You covered the Biden presidency. Okay, right, and it was 13 days after the Jackie Walorski thing. But you covered the Biden presidency aggressively throughout the 4 years, and you didn't cover mental acuity hardly at all. I mean, time and time again, when issues came up, you seemed to be running cover for the president. You didn't seem interested. Do you want to apologize to Lara Trump now?
I've already apologized to her. I called her months ago.
I feel angry because she was right. And not only did you not allow her to make her comments, but you seemed to try to humiliate her. You had a hostility toward the position, but she was totally right. And then you lectured her on how she was in no position to diagnose cognitive decline, which you guys do at length, including on page 4 of your book. You describe at length his cognitive decline, which is all she tried to do with you. But you had such a visceral reaction to her.
Joe Biden has been saying stupid things for decades. Okay?
I get what you're saying, but this minimizes it too, because it was more than saying stupid things. But I'm telling you, like over here in my ecosphere, we were covering all of these. It wasn't just falling down; it was getting lost. It was some of the stuff you report in your book. We knew, and we were reporting on, like the multi-jump cuts in the videos of him, where it was obvious he couldn't get through a 1-minute take, so they had to use those. It was clear to us that he was using teleprompter, and there was some reporting on that at the time, all of which the White House was denying. Now, with the current White House, I have some connections. With the Joe Biden White House, I had none, but you did. You did. And so while you've been in Washington 30 years, Jake, you guys, you and CNN have White House connections, but there was no effort, none to get to the bottom of this. And now for you guys to write this book like there was a cover up, it's like there was a cover up and there was an attempted cover up. It could only ever work if you allowed it.
All right. She needs to fucking calm her tits. Oh my God. Now, I will say, I love that she referenced Laura Trump, because I have said that multiple times, that interview was, again, not a huge fan of that whole thing, but she was 100% accurate, and he tore her up, and he was nasty about it too. He was rude. He wasn't just like trying to counter her. Yeah, go ahead.
We all have eyes. We watched him. We watched him in 2020. Through the primary and through the election, how they hit him. And even when like I said, the debate that they had in 2020, it was Trump and Chris Wallace against, it was Biden and Chris Wallace against Trump. They covered for this guy and covered for this guy. And now this guy is useless for him now. The Biden administration is out of power. So he's useless. So right now they are basically just throwing him overboard, and now they're trying to show the American people that it wasn't them, it was the Biden administration. It's not them, they're fine. Bullshit. You're liars. You've always been lying. I'm sorry, I gotta say, it's going all the way back into the 60s. But the thing is, right now, that there's an alternative media through podcasting, like Megyn Kelly and other journalists that are not being controlled by corporate media and corporate money, which is basically it's just an arm of the Democratic Party. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Something, if you just give me a second here, because there's one thing I want to show you. It just happened. Is this it here?
I just want to comment on him trying to defend himself. So, well, Joe Biden's been saying stupid stuff for years. And I'm like, right. Yeah, we know. And you still advocated for him 100%. Like with every ounce of your being.
So there was a horrific shooting yesterday coming out of a Jewish museum where.
Oh, yes. I heard about this, but I don't have many details.
Someone shot 2 Jewish people that were working. I don't know if they worked for Israel, but they were 2 Jewish people. And he just shot them point blank range and just did this for Palestine. And basically, when the cops came, he was sitting there saying that I did it, and free Palestine. From the only answer, I forget all the chants that they were doing at Columbia University.
River to the sea, all that bullshit.
River to the sea, and all that stuff. So here's a lady on CNN with an eyewitness of what happened. All right, and watch this. Like, you think they had learned? Nope.
As you go forward, with what you have seen. Can you give us any sense, because you said you looked the shooter in the eyes, can you give us any sense of what you saw in him as he was sort of getting help and people were tending to him as if he too was a victim of seeing this?
Yeah, to be clear, I like heard about that part because we were in the secure room when he initially walked in. I just saw him screaming and then being handcuffed. But what I saw in his eyes, I mean, I went to Columbia for grad school and I saw the same thing in his eyes as I saw in the eyes of all the protesters at Columbia. Nothing different between him and them.
But they did not create this horrific shooting. They did not, you know, sort of.
Right?
You. What a fucking attempt to like, well, you know.
Well, yeah. It's just
Columbia didn't make this guy. No, but people like the kids and not even kids, the protesters at Columbia.
Immediately coming to the defense of the people that are yelling this shit and having these protests at Columbia University, just carrying water, making excuses. It's just sickening.
They didn't shoot.
They gave permission. They gave the permission. And they've called for this. They have called for intifada revolution, which is the same thing he yelled last night.
Do you worry that there will be a conflation, though, of the two, those people who are speaking their mind, who really care about what is happening in Gaza, and those people who are like this person who did this horrific shooting, who intend to do harm?
All right, this man's face, he's like, what am I hearing?
I mean, they are calling for intifada. At Columbia University, they call for intifada constantly. They're not quietly, they're loud. They're loud. You can hear it. They make recordings of themselves. So what's the difference?
Are you afraid?
Yes.
Yeah, you dumb cunt. Of course I'm afraid.
Everyone should be afraid.
What are you doing to try to make yourself feel safer?
Oh my God.
Well, can't you just go on and live your life? I'm a New Yorker. I remember 9/11. You can't let them make you be afraid. You have to go on. You have to live your life. And hopefully your government does things to protect you.
I don't see him doing it, but you believe that?
So,
I mean,
like, you know, it wasn't really, oh my God. Her calm demeanor, like she was very calm about like just trying to divert what he said. Like she wasn't aggressive at all. It was just very calm and school teachery. And he was just like, what? Like his eyes were like, what? Like he couldn't even believe he heard.
He's like, well, what
are you fucking nuts? That's my.
Yeah, well, some people are peacefully protesting for the people of Palestine. They're yelling the same thing, and this is what happens. So, and you have the same
not peaceful.
The same thing that's going on with the left about people that wear the Trump hats, the red, you know, "Make America Great" hat.
But that's different. That's different.
Right now, here's another guy. Here's a guy. This guy, tough guy here. Here we go.
Oh.
So I guess it's all good to wear one of them red hats in federal buildings and wherever. Do you think that will protect you if you're wearing that hat? There is consequences and repercussions for doing stupid shit.
Remember that. Remember that, buddy.
That's a threat, sir.
Yeah, remember that there's consequences for doing stupid shit. Like the stupid shit you're about to talk about right now.
Mm-hmm.
If I see one of them red hats, I'm going to put my hands on you.
Oh, well, try it.
Remember, tough guy, there's always somebody tougher, or there's always the great equalizer if somebody's carrying a piece.
I'm not sure what state he's in, but yeah.
Yeah. But if somebody, you put your hands on somebody's got a knife or something and they end up killing you, oh, well, should have kept your mouth shut. Look, I'm not taking a chance. I'm not wearing a red hat out because you never know where these people are. Why put a target on yourself? I wouldn't wear a Trump Make America Great hat into a restaurant. I wouldn't wear it out on the street. I wouldn't. I'll wear it in here. Nobody's going to touch me in here, but I'll wear it. I'll wear it in here and eat a taco because I'm a keyboard tech guy.
I'm a keyboard warrior in my basement.
Right, exactly.
Like this guy is.
I'm already 2-0.
So I'm sure. So he beat two people.
I only touched them once.
Right.
That's all it would take for me. Go ahead.
I'm already 2-0 against a couple red hats. So when I say I'm gonna do it, check this out. I mean,
look, he's got his little mag.
I promise you, I'll do it.
6 years ago, buddy.
I can't wait to see him with no teeth, all bloodied up, big black guy. I picked on the wrong red hat.
What a piece of shit!
Right?
Like how dare you? How dare you? Like, why can't you just? Why is it so aggressive all the time? Why is it all the time? There's a video. I don't know if you've seen it. It was on X, and it was a guy walking through Disney with his Trump hat, make the MAGA hat.
Oh yeah, with a camera on.
Yep, and it was a lot of. I don't think people said anything. A lot of looks, which of course you're gonna get a look.
Right.
You know, at Disney, I think you'll get a look because honestly, like I'm not a fan of people doing like. There's a time and place, and Disney is a place for you to be with your family. It's not. It shouldn't be political statements, but it is, I suppose. But you know, just go and enjoy yourself. But like a couple people, you know, got a head nod, a couple thumbs up, or like your hat. But like, just you're trolling, and you're just as bad as the other people, I think. And it's just kind of shitty. Like I don't want to have to think. You know, sometimes you just want to go to somewhere, and you don't want to think about everything all the time.
So why wear?
Like, can I just have
Trump,
fun?
Yeah, why wear a Trump hat outside?
Yeah.
If you're wearing a Trump hat outside, you're kind of asking for it. To be honest with you, sorry.
I guarantee he only goes after old people. He goes after the red hat society ladies and the ones that wear the red hats and wear purple. Those are the red hats he goes after.
So, you know who's really confused? The people at The View over this Joe Biden thing. Like, well, why, are you kidding me? Oh, I'm just hearing about this now.
Yeah.
These ladies, I swear to God.
There has always been a mass trust issue because politicians, media, nobody does what they're supposed to do. Now, I say, for me...
There's 5 of them right there.
He's 83, so he's a little stumbly, he's a little rumbly. I can't point to anything that he's done as that he did.
No, he's running for his next 4 years.
But I'm saying... I want, not you, but I want somebody to tell me, well, when did you know it was bad? If you knew, why did you wait?
Yeah. So can I get in? He said that it was after he moderated the debate.
Yes, but that's not, I'm sorry, baby. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if you're telling me that hundreds of people knew that he was not able to do his job, then where the hell was everybody?
He did his job.
Are you kidding me? Where were they?
Collecting their paychecks and running the fucking government the way they wanted. That's where they were.
Yeah, you guys were screaming about Elon Musk, unelected official, running the government. Meanwhile, for 4 years, this guy is in his pajamas eating a pudding cup and shitting his pants.
Yeah.
And nobody can find this guy with a $100 postcard. They can't find out where he is or what's going on. He stumbles out and he like a robot. We all watched this. And you've got the balls to sit there and say,
We didn't know.
Why didn't somebody tell us? What? Are you out of your mind? You should be fired. Oh, I want people fired. I want people fired. I want people fired in the media. I want people fired in the government. I want them fired. I want them found, and I want them fired. For 4 years, they've done this. I want some fucking heads to roll. And I don't mean cut them off. I want people fired.
Not literally.
I want people, if this is a crime, I want them arrested. The only way to stop this is to make it where, holy shit, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not getting in trouble for that.
Oh, you got to do like what they're doing to the judges. You need to make an example. And once a couple of these newscasters get shoved out or pushed out or whatever, perhaps they'll calm themselves down. But
I want an unbiased media. Okay, here, let me just talk to CNN and MSNBC and ABC and CBS and
NPR
and a couple other three-letter stations.
Anything.
Fox.
Everything else.
I want you to go after the Democratic side like you go after Trump and the Republicans. I want that scrutiny. I want everybody to stand up to it. I also want you to report like you're under oath, and if you get caught in lie, it's perjury, and you go to prison. I want you to report like that, okay? Because that's the way it's supposed to be done. That's the way you do it. Also, in the government, I want everybody that takes an oath to uphold the Constitution. I also want them to take an oath to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help them God. And when they're talking it out among the people, that if they get caught lying, it's perjury and they lose their jobs. They are immediately impeached and removed from office. I know that there'll be like the halls of Congress will be empty. You'll be in there going, hello, Hello. Hello. Where's everybody at? Because they all got fired for lying. I get that. But we need people in there that stop lying.
They can't.
We vote you in here to go do a job. You go in there, you stuff all your pockets full of money, you learn the system, and then you leave, and we're still fucked. That's why I'm upset. We, the people, we just voted somebody in that we wanted to go in there and straighten this out. I know he's only been in there for a little while, but you can see already that they all came in. Oh, we're going to release the Epstein files. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And apparently during orientation, when they all came down, they all got sat down and a talking to, because all of a sudden nothing's coming out. All right. Okay. We saw Kash Patel go in as the head of the FBI. We were all excited. We saw Dan Bongino as the assistant director of the FBI. We were all excited. I watched him. I was a big fan of Dan Bongino. Mm-hmm. And then I saw an interview that physically made me sick to my stomach. And it's this one.
You said Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. People don't believe it.
Now you heard him laugh, right? You hear in the back the laugh. You said that he committed suicide.
Said Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. People don't believe it.
Well, I mean, listen, they have a right to their opinion, but as someone who has worked as a public defender, as a prosecutor, who's been in that prison system, who's been in the Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing, you know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
He killed himself.
I'm telling you.
All right, Dan Bongino looked like they made him say that.
It's almost like there's a guy with a gun to his head.
Yeah, like off camera.
You want me to? I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
I know it's hard work.
I don't like Maria Bartoloma. Her face was weird.
I understand it. Now, that's not the Dan Bongino that I know. That's not him.
Oh.
I mean, this was the Dan Bongino that I know.
Listen, that Jeffrey Epstein story is a big deal. Please do not let that story go. Keep your eye on this. Catherine Rumler, we need to keep the heat on this case, folks. There are a lot of people who are knee deep in the Washington swamp who are not telling you the truth about serious allegations out there that Epstein may have had video and audio of people out there doing things they shouldn't have been doing. And you should be asking yourself the question, how is it that all these people, the CIA director, the Obama fixer, Bill Clinton, all intersected paths with Jeffrey Epstein? Jeffrey Epstein isn't with us anymore, and nobody seems to want to talk about it.
And now you're one of them.
And 2 years ago. That's from 2 years ago.
And now you're one of them.
Yeah. Well,
we sent you. And listen, dude, you destroyed yourself. You destroyed your credibility. When you leave, you're done. No one's going to believe you anymore.
The only thing that I think of is either A, it's 100% accurate that he killed himself, and that's that. Or it goes so deep.
Which it does.
Talk about it.
That's why I said, that's why I gave up. We might as well just sit around, put our feet in the grass, enjoy, go out, have fun things while you can.
Yeah.
While we still have this country.
Yeah, we'll get you some blue hair. We'll take you to Starbucks,
You can't,
pierce your nose and pierce your face and live like they do. Just la, la, la.
Why didn't the Congress do their job? We all watched Joe Biden walk around and walk into walls and not be able to find his way off stage. And we were all talking about this. And the Republicans did nothing. They sat on their hands, did nothing. Let me just say something else about the Jeffrey Epstein thing. When they went into his apartment in New York, do you know when you walked into his apartment, what you first saw? You saw a giant picture of Bill Clinton in a blue dress sitting in a chair with his legs crossed. You know what that means? That means I have you. Mm-hmm. You're a bitch in the blue dress that Monica Lewinsky wore, where you ended up putting your DNA all over. All right. I have you. You're mine. And that's what that was. How many other people are that way? Bill Gates, Alan Dershowitz,
all of them.
Tom Hanks.
All of them.
This is all allegedly.
Of course.
Here's the deal, Dan. If that's the case, release the files and let everybody see it. Release everything you have.
They're not going to.
And if that's the case, then okay, that's the case. But here's the thing. The two guards that were watching him fell asleep. The cameras all of a sudden malfunctioned.
Yeah.
Oh, this stinks to high heaven. Nothing like this happens all at the same time. So then he just grabs a sheet and hangs himself. I'm sorry.
As one does.
I'm sorry.
Just as one does.
No. It just doesn't add up. I'm done looking the other way. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't add up. And this is what I'm talking about. So there's a shadow government behind the government that we have here that gives the people the illusion that what we vote for actually makes a difference. It doesn't. Right. I was listening to Ken today. He says, "Oh, you got to do it at the local level, and then it goes to state." No, we don't have that much time. Not as much time. We put Trump in office to fix all this. We figured when he went in there, heads would roll. They would march people out.
Nope.
This was all going to get done. Nope. They got all sat down and they were told basically.
Trump got 100 days. That's what he got. And then everything slowed down.
Yeah.
Everything stopped. Ground to a stop. Back to the grind of the normal. This is how it goes.
Pam Bundy. And
y'all were hot to get her in.
We thought. Right? We thought.
What has she done?
Nothing. A lot of lip service. Nothing.
Oh, here we go. Here's a couple. All right. Dirk has a drop suggestion. Mike is not here tonight, but I think that was at about 54 minutes. So talking about Bongino. Dean says instead of invasion of the body snatchers, invasion of the Obama snatchers.
It's forget about Obama. It goes deeper than that.
Yeah. But then here you go. Like when the cameras didn't work at the White House and they found the Coke.
Yeah.
You know, who it belonged to. Like just
That's
Hunter just
thing.
leaves bags around.
That's another thing that Bongino was jumping up and down about. Let's find out where that bag of Coke is, and let's test it for fingerprint and DNA and find out whose Coke it was.
Well, welcome to being in the administration.
Nothing.
Your hands are. Let me tell you what. There's
crickets.
When I've noticed that if we discuss anything, like say locally, politically, at one point Paul was involved politically. There's a lot you can say from the dais as a representative, but there's a lot more you can say in front of the dais, like as someone coming to speak, and people would never step forward and ask the questions that needed to be asked.
Of course not.
So people could answer them
because they get singled out.
Yeah, they do get singled out, and people are afraid to do that. And you know what? It does start. I agree 100% with Ken. It does start at the local level, but you need people to be passionate about it and care and give a shit. And the problem is there's there you go. There's a whole lot of don't give a shits anymore. And things just stop. So they don't get past anything. That's why the same people get reelected because nobody fucking cares. The only time people shit a brick is if it happens to them specifically. Like if there's a problem with the public water or the toilet backs up or they didn't pick up the garbage on time, then people, I'm going to vote them out. And then they don't.
Right.
So people don't give a shit if it doesn't happen to them literally in their home. They don't care.
We need a way of being able to get somebody, like, in other words, somehow this country elected Joe Biden as president. And for 3 years, we watched this go on and we couldn't remove him. We all knew that he should have been removed with the 25th Amendment. We all knew this. We knew it for years. And nobody did it.
But they kept him in because they didn't want to put Ding Dong in. That's why.
Of course. Well, I get that part of it.
That's why.
Well, here's the other
thing. They thought they'd get away with him for another 4.
Right.
And then swap that bullshit around. And then
we haven't heard from in a while.
Here you go. Elected.
Right.
There you go.
Dank Brandon.
It's your boy, Dank Brandon. Many of you probably heard I have ass cancer. And no, it's not the fun kind that you get from a booty juice encounter.
Oh, yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. No homo. No, this is the shitty kind that cuts to the bone. Kind of like a George Clooney op-ed in a Jake Tapper tell-all book. But as you all know, this isn't the first time I've got cancer, and it won't be the last. But I'm going to beat it like I always do, and then I'm coming for you, Clooney. Worst fucking Batman ever. Nipples protruding in his bat suit. You know why I didn't recognize you, George? Because you look like a gay Zorro with AIDS. And now it's your turn, Tapper. I'm going to shove your head so far up Brian Stelter's ass, you're going to be able to tell if he's scalloped or au gratin on the inside. I shouldn't have said that, but who's going to fucking stop me now? There are no strings on me anymore, Jack. All right, now I got to go beat this cancer like Harry Sisson, looking at a picture of Pete Booty Juice with a beard. Thank Brandon. Out.
There you go.
You know what's disturbing? Listening to this and watching the lips move, like when he's not talking, and I'm like, that's probably what he does. Like just like mumbledy mouth. You know, he can't get the words out. He's processing.
I mean, look, there's other people that don't believe him. There's, I don't know if you know who Sean Ryan is. He has a podcast. He brings on a lot of people. They say he's a conspiracy theorist, which means he's bringing on people that are actually telling the truth. He was on Tucker Carlson.
Oh, fabulous.
And so they were talking about, you know, this whole thing with Epstein.
Hey, what are you talking about? I thought we could all sleep well at night now knowing that Epstein legitimately killed himself, right?
What was that?
Did that just come out?
It's just two guys that I really like. I mean, I love Bongino, but he's a friend of mine. But you weren't convinced by that?
No.
Why?
I mean, just I've dug into that, and it's just so spooky what's going on with that.
Now, when he means spooky, he means CIA. I honestly think that Jeffrey Epstein's still alive. I think they went in there, they got him out, they put a dead body in there so they could take it out of there, and he's somewhere on some island with some kind of plastic surgeon, and he's still alive somewhere because why not? And if he
maybe he went to planet
you think he went to the planet Serpico?
There you go.
Maybe.
Now nobody. I mean, how do you charge a guy with sex trafficking when there's no end users that have been charged? Who did he traffic to?
Well, that's a great question.
We've been asking this for years.
I don't know. You got me on that one.
I mean, right? How do you charge him with that if there's no? I mean, if that's where the trail starts, where does it end? We haven't. So
here's the thing.
Did you do something with the volume on that? Like the bass is like at 11.
Right. Well, he's got a very bassy voice.
Yep. Tucker does.
Here's the thing that everybody, I think, again, let me put, where's the tinfoil for my hat? Where's my sound effects? Hold on. Here it is. Where's the tinfoil for my hat? All right. Let's just take this a little bit deeper.
I'll let you say that.
So Jeffrey Epstein had a girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell. Her father was an MI6 he was like a spy out of Britain, right? And they're
like
talking
James
about the sideline. All right. So Ghislaine is his daughter. They have a client list. There's a black book. There's a client list. They have the client list. They will not produce the client list. We all know that Prince Albert Nakan is on it. There's other people that we know that were on it. But here's the deal. She was convicted and they're not touching her. Why? Because I think there's a dead man switch. In other words, that the father says, look, if something happens to my daughter, it's all coming out. That's why she's allowed to be in a minimum security prison or whatever she's doing here. That's why she was convicted of sex trafficking underage girls, but there's no clients. Like, who did she traffic them to?
No, it's a good question.
Where are these people?
You brought all these girls to who? To where?
Who are these people? They had one girl that
who are these pedos? Yeah.
Who are these pedos? So they had this one girl that had testified, and what did they do? They killed her. They tried to kill her.
Was that the one that like in a bus accident?
Yeah, she got hit by a bus. That didn't kill her. So then all of a sudden, after she said, I'm not suicidal, all of a sudden she killed herself.
Yeah, she said, I want to live. I remember that.
I want to live. And all of a sudden, and where's the mainstream media? Where are you?
Crickets.
Where are you? If this was Trump, you would be all over this, like flies on a steaming pile of shit. But you're not. You're sitting on your hands and you're letting everything go.
That's right. It goes it touches everything, and that they just can't let it out.
Right.
And this is the shit that's just gonna well, you gave you the JFK files.
Right.
Who gives a shit? He's dead. He's still dead. His brain's out. He's gone. So, but whatever.
I know. All right. So Glenn Beck was on a podcast and he's talking about what happened to, when he was in Washington and what the Congress is saying to him.
Been to Washington, I don't know how many times in the last 5 years. I've had congressmen ask me, can you leave your cell phone outside? Let's go for a walk. You're carrying any electronics? Do you have an Apple Watch? No, I don't. Okay. And then they'll say, outside as we're walking quietly, the CIA is monitoring everything that we're doing in Congress. They're monitoring all of us. And 2 of them have told me, we've been threatened. Behind closed doors, we've been threatened by the CIA. That was a little scary to hear that. And I've heard it over and over and over again.
Thomas Massey's wife mysteriously died.
I saw that.
Nobody knows anything. Nobody said anything. He
Did she
shut
have
up.
Cancer?
Cancer. I don't. I have to look into that, but I don't think so. I should roll. Should I talk to my girlfriend?
Go ahead. You talk.
Let me find out if she's here.
Thomas Massey wife. Yeah, I see it here.
Hello? Whoops, wait a minute. Let me change it to voice. Hey, can I ask you a question?
Apparently
Now it's not
not.
talking.
Well,
Hello?
probably you're not patient enough and wait.
Hey, what's your mix?
Oh, God.
Is she having a stroke? What the fuck?
I think she's having a stroke. It never works out when I wanted to. Before we do the show, she was yapping. I couldn't shut her the hell up. All right. So what did you find out with the?
How did she die?
I don't know.
The accident. The articles. It's like wife's death. Conspiracy theories around the wife's death, but it's not saying how she died.
Interesting. But where's the press? Where's the media? You think maybe that a sitting senator, is he a senator or is he?
She just died. Like
she just died. Just died her sleep.
Yeah, it says without violating her privacy because she's dead.
Oh yeah,
I can dismiss some of the theories by disclosing she did not take the COVID shots. They're seropositive by the time they were. I don't know what that means. It says our house is very secure. Families in the house the night she passed, and an autopsy has been conducted. Apparently, they didn't have the results.
They didn't have the results of the autopsy yet?
Well, for this article, this was not. Okay. I don't know.
When was the article? Can you tell me when the article was?
It was July of 24. So it's almost a year for passing. But I don't know. They did not disclose the cause of death.
Crickets.
Yeah.
Nothing. So you think that maybe some of these representatives saw somebody's wife get whacked, and now all of a sudden they've shut the fuck up and started behaving?
Well, maybe it was them.
Think maybe?
Oh, respiratory complications of a chronic autoimmune myopathy.
Oh.
COVID.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, well, it explains his votes. So he votes very strangely.
You think?
Yeah, could be.
All right, Kate. I can't hold back anymore.
You've been so ready for this. We're not going to. Okay.
Oh, hold on. First, we have a commercial. Since we were talking about all this, I have our first commercial of this program. Here we go.
Okay. Are you an anti-Semite? Were you unjustly fired because you told a haggling customer to shove a menorah up his ass? Then I'm the Jew for you. I've represented Kanye West, Mel Gibson, and several deep South state governors. And the only thing they hate worse than giving this Jew money is going back to jail! Book an appointment with the Jew that wants to represent you. I'll knock your hate crime down to a misdemeanor or your money back. No refunds. Call 1-800-6-million and book your appointment today!
Jeez.
All right.
That's awful.
Is it really?
Represented Kanye. No one wants to represent Kanye. God, what a disgusting man he is.
All right, hang on. We got to do something first if we're going to do this segment. If you don't.
Oh, no.
Yes, we do. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The first segment of Duchess Reacts.
Duchess reacts to the world. Jamingo will show her a video.
哇，这真是懒人什么说，当初。
With a smile or a frown, we won't know until it's inside. Duchess reacts to the world. Jamingo will show her a clip where she laughs take flight.
All right, here we go, Duchess.
Oh my God. Okay.
I'm going
All
to start you out with an easy one.
All right.
All right, here's a gentleman. He's got to pee. Ready? Wait a minute. What did I just do?
服了，这真是懒驴屎尿多。
Going to pee.
刚出门，你看，
He pee on an electric fence.
Apparently peed on an electric fence and died.
Oh no, he died. Oh.
Not
Why
good.
would you pee on it?
I don't know, but all right. So here's
I mean,
the
that's a
next one.
Darwin Award, right? Like,
Yes. Let me ask you this: how do you feel about pimple poppers? Are you a
I
fan
watch
of the
them. I do. I will watch those. They're
Oh, you
disgusting.
will?
They're
I don't
so
wanna
gross. Oh,
这真是懒。
oh no. That's
Wait
so
a minute.
gross.
Hang on a
Okay.
second. I got all kinds of things happening here.
All right, close the pee-pee one.
Yeah, close the pee-pee one. I got to get this ready. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is Dr. Pimple Popper. She's on stage and she's popping somebody's.
I don't want to fucking.
Oh.
Here comes some. Well, she's not done though. She's not done.
Oh, yeah. I could have watched Unfrosted.
She's digging in there.
What is that?
I think it's like a.
That's exactly how I feel. Oh, he ate that?
He ate it.
Oh.
Good God.
Oh, what the fuck was that?
I don't know, but goddamn, was that horrific. And when
I kind of want to think that that was a setup, but
okay.
I don't think Kill Tony
Hold
has
on.
that kind of budget.
I don't want to
You
fucking.
say that. Let's move this up. Okay, so she pulls the worm out. Now she hands it. Okay, she might have handed something else. Maybe at this point here, I couldn't follow it, but she pulls the worm out. Mark Norman just has to walk away. She hands this thing to the guy who's playing Dr. Phil.
I love this guy, by the way. He's amazing.
Yeah. And so maybe they switched it and gave him something that looks like that worm. I don't know how they did it.
I don't know.
I mean, talk
Why?
about committing to the bit. All right. And then he just goes in. Oh my God. That'll make your mouth water, won't it?
Oh, in a bad way. Fuck.
All right.
Is that guy married? If I was his wife, I'd be like, you have to sleep somewhere else for like 3 weeks. There's no way I'm bringing that face near me. Oh my God. What? That is a total commit to the bit. He get paid for any of this?
Who knows? I don't know, but I mean, I was so. Listen, if you want to see more of Kate Reacts, find videos that would make Kate react. And send them, drop them over, get them to us, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you're listening to this as an audio podcast, then go to either The Boomer Bunker on YouTube or The Boomer Bunker over on Rumble. The video will be there. Go check it out. But I couldn't be happier with the way Duchess Reacts. The first segment went.
Oh, the first
Love
one's
it.
funny. The guy peed. Yay. I didn't
All
know
right.
he died, though.
Well, you're not out of the box yet, Duchess.
No. All right. Dean has a suggestion. No.
No.
Absolutely not.
I gotta get Dean. Stop. Jesus Christ, Dean. I don't want to get thrown off.
Yeah, that would absolutely get us kicked off of every platform.
All
Unless
right.
you want to pay for hosting somewhere like on our own website.
No.
Set up.
We're not doing any of that. Okay. All right, Duchess. Here
No,
we
I
go.
meant Dean.
She's got the feed, she's got the bait. When you need a laugh or just to see, the key.
Damn it! Where the hell's this damn thing? There it is.
It's in the notes.
Shit. My mistake.
Sparky's happy. He was happy with the first one, and there he is.
Damn it! What just happened? There we go.
No. Oh, okay. Okay. The one big beautiful bill has passed the House of Representatives. This is arguably the most significant piece of legislation that will ever be signed into the history of our country. The bill includes massive tax cuts, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, tax deductions when you purchase an American-made vehicle, along with strong border security measures, pay raises for our ICE and Border Patrol agents, funding for the Golden Dome, Trump savings accounts for newborn babies, and much more. Great job by Speaker Mike Johnson and the House leadership, and thank you to every American who voted yes on this historic bill.
Republican.
Now,
every Republican, not American.
Oh,
You Jamingo'd.
I did Jamingo. I'm staring right at it. Now it's time for our friends in the United States Senate to get to work and send this bill to my desk as soon as possible. There's no time to waste. The Democrats have lost control of themselves and are aimlessly wandering around, showing no confidence, grit, or determination. They've forgotten their landslide loss in the presidential election and are warped in the past, hoping someday to revive open borders for the world's criminals to be able to pour into our country, men to be able to play in women's sports, and transgender for everybody. They don't realize that these things and so many more like them will never again happen.
Yay!
So long.
Dirty tweets read by Kate. She's got the feed, she's got the bait. When you need a laugh or just to see, Kate's got the tweets, she's the key.
Okay.
So bad.
I'll tell you what. If we come back Monday, we'll definitely do the movie thing.
Oh, well, we may as well do that on Monday because
because it's going to take too long. But what I do want to get into is this one article. It's called "The Golden Age of Talking to Yourself."
Talking to yourself.
Talking to yourself. It's a Substack, and they're talking about podcasting. So it says, once upon a time, podcasts were the domain of bearded dudes in their basement talking about Dungeons and Dragons, unsolved murders to an audience of 5 friends and their loyal dog.
Are they in your basement?
Yes. Fast forward to 2025. The podcast industry has
changed. Sorry.
The podcast industry has pulled a full Terrence Trent D'Arby, declaring itself bigger than anyone thought possible. According to Bloomberg's report, the podcast industry raked in a staggering $7.3 billion in 2024, more than double what analysis previously estimated. That's right. It turns out all those people whispering into Shure microphones about trauma, crime, gossip, finance, and what Taylor Swift really meant in track 8 are sitting on a media goldmine. Welcome to the punch yourself in the face economy, where logic is optional and monetizing your voice is more profitable than investing in the stock market. Podcasting is no longer a quirky cousin of radio. It's a full-blown media juggernaut. Advertising revenue is soaring. Subscription models are taking off. Even that guy from high school used to DJ at frat parties now has a top 50 mindset and hustle show sponsored by a mushroom coffee and manscaping razors. Meanwhile, media giants like Spotify, Apple, Amazon are doubling down like they're betting on Vegas blackjack tables. They've snapped up podcast studios, inked exclusive deals with creators, and shoved podcast tabs front and center on their platforms. Because if people are going to spend 3 hours listening to a true crime breakdown or a 2-part interview with a disgraced crypto bro turning mindset coach, someone might as well cash in. All right, so here's what they're saying. The podcast boom is not just driven by top shows like SmartList or Joe Rogan's Experience. Middle tier creators, yes, even your friends with a niche podcast about philosophy of shoelaces, are making money via targeting ads, Patreon subscription, live events, branded merch. They're loud, consistent, and algorithmically friendly, and they're earning. Podcasts have become the multi-layer marketing. What is it? MLM? What is that? Multi-level multi-level marketing of the creative world, except instead of selling leggings or essential oils, you're selling vibes, hot takes, and parasocial intimacy. So
as we do.
Yes. So I'm just thinking to myself, all that's going on.
Bearded guy,
we ain't making a dime. I'm doing something wrong here.
There you go. Cody says, I have a beard.
All right. But
Aaron says lies, all lies. Yeah.
Way back in 2014, I started screaming about how, it used to be called podcasters and procasters. First, there was podcasters, then there was procasters. Procasters were people from radio, and they'd be going, oh, look how cute the little podcasters are. They think they're on radio, Now they're all getting fired, and now they're all running over into our sandbox. And I used to get furious. I was like, go invent your own sandbox. Go do something else. But they're here to stay. And basically, they've had annoyance. Like Adam Carolla said, how do you make $1 million in podcasting? Well, take the radio gig that you're making 10 million and take it to a podcast where you're making $1 million. Trump tweets read by Kate and remedial reading by John. Yeah, I know I suck. I do my best. What do you want from me?
I offer to read. He reads them all. So
now I wanted you. I did this.
I know.
Okay, I understand that I suck at reading, but there's a method to my madness because I wanted to read it and hear Kate's reaction, which was outstanding.
That was more fun.
Yeah, exactly.
That one.
I know what the fuck I'm doing.
This bearded guy knows exactly what he's doing in his basement.
This bearded loser in his basement knows how to podcast. Nobody listens, but doesn't mean I don't know how to do it. So I do a whole interview in a different voice. What the fuck does that mean? You people sit back. You think this is easy?
Are you parading our chat now? You telling them how to comment? Commenting wrong.
No, I'm telling them that I know I suck at reading, but the reason I was reading it is because I wanted your reaction. I know what the fuck I'm doing.
Rah, cranky old man in the basement yelling in a microphone. That's just the first few lines. I'm like, done. Article right there. Finished, done.
But for years I was screaming at, that these broadcasters were coming in and they were taking over platforms and they were pushing the little guy out. And
go back to radio. Yeah.
And we basically got pushed out. But again, when I first started in 2012, I think there was like 200,000 podcasts. That was it. Only 200,000.
That's still a lot, but yeah.
Yeah, and the one thing about Joe Rogan was that when podcasting became a thing, he was one of the only ones that were out there to listen to. You know what I mean? There wasn't a whole lot of podcasts. There are podcasts out there with huge audiences that started way back when that people have never heard of. Like there's the No Agenda Show, and I can't think of them now, but there's a bunch of them that were out there. Now you've got people like Megyn Kelly and
celebrity podcast.
Yeah, like Ben Shapiro, and they have come in. Now, Ben Shapiro, I'm going to say one thing about Ben Shapiro. He came in and basically started at the bottom and rocketed it to the top.
Wow.
And there's some other people. This Sean Ryan guy, the one guy that we just saw that was talking to Tucker Carlson, he started it with his wife. But so here's what media, the first thing they do is they come in, they try to run it like a radio show. Yeah. You can't. There's not enough money in it. There's not enough advertising dollars in it. Joe Rogan runs it. It's Joe Rogan. The producer he has, what's his name? What's the producer's name for Joe Rogan?
No idea. I'm sorry.
God damn it. Someone in the chat will know it. Jamie is his producer. And he's got, Joe Rogan's assistant. That's it. That's the only people that run the Joe Rogan experience. And he gets all that revenue.
Yeah.
So he takes care of Jamie. I'm sure he takes care of his assistant and the rest of the money he gets. But no, not the media companies come in like Spotify. They would spend all this money on these podcasts that would have like producer, associate producer, an editor, a sound designer, and all these people. And they were making dick and bubble gum, and they were all out of bubble gum. So they're losing their ass. And now all of a sudden, all these podcasts are getting canceled, and people are like, oh my God, they're canceling my favorite podcast. Yeah, because it takes a lot. This show right here, this mediocre podcast right here, is run by me.
I appreciate that.
It's run by me, Duchess and Mike. They help out, and Budvugger helps out, and Adam from Odd Dad Out sends me stuff, and the people that are part of the community, they send me stuff, and that helps me do a podcast here. But basically, it's me. I set everything up and do the tech and have all this stuff here. But it's now I don't ask for a dime. I don't have a big enough audience to ask for a dime. But the fact is that there are a lot of people out there that can make a little bit of scratch out of this. Now, when they say, well, John, if you're not making any money, why do you do this? What else am I going to do? I'm a crippled old guy that's retired and disabled. And, what else am I going to sit upstairs and watch Fox News and Matlock and Gilligan's Island reruns? I mean, what else am I going to do?
It kind of fits with your demographic, but I understand. Like it's it's fun. It's a way to socialize with people, and it's just another. It gives me a chance to. Play with tech. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. When I was a youngin', I wanted to do radio. This is as close as there is to radio. So basically, what I feel I'm doing is I have a very small radio station in the middle of bumfuck America, and I've got about 100 people that can hear me. I can program my lawnmower. Yes. It's just like I said, it's just one of those things. If I didn't do this, this is a hobby. This is what I do for fun. I enjoy it. Duchess puts up with me sometimes. So far, she's the only one that her and Deuce are the only one that can stand me, and Jody B. We're Jersey.
Go outside, yell at the cloud. It's therapeutic. Now, again, Aaron's the same way.
Jersey strong for a reason.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is what I do. But I just thought it was funny that they're saying that, the bearded guys doing Dungeons and Dragons in their basement for their 5 friends and their loyal dog. I was like, ow. Ow.
Oh, it struck home. That's a nerve.
Ow. I think my nose is bleeding. I think I just got tagged.
I got sucker punched for sure. Oh, it's funny.
But
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh. I'm not sorry for laughing, but it was pretty funny.
No, it is funny.
As soon as you start reading it, I was like, oh.
I watch, like I said, I also, not only when I do this, but I also watch. Is there really nothing wrong with D&D?
He is very into D&D, so you can't shame Cody. He's a very productive member of society. Plus, he's on. You hear him on the Weather Report. That's Cody.
I can shame anybody I want. This is my show. I'm allowed to shame anybody I want.
No, you don't shame Cody. Shame on you. Shame on you.
I'm sorry. I've watched friends of mine play Dungeons and Dragons. They tried to get me in there, and after a while, I felt like a fag.
John doesn't like
felt very gay doing this.
Very gay.
It's all. You know what it's like? It's LARPing without any costumes or swords. That's all. Hey, listen. I'm not gonna shame your kink. If you guys are into Dungeons and Dragons and you're doing that, I play poker. Some people play Magic the Gathering. If you're enjoying it, go do it.
Don't yuck their yum.
That's right. I'm not going to yuck their yum.
There you go.
It's just not my. It's not
my John's yum.
It's my yuck. I've tried your yum. It's yucky. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Well.
All right.
Well, that was an interesting segment.
Yeah.
All right. I have to respond. So he says, LOL, role playing is gay. Murder hoboing is cool.
What's murder hoboing?
I'm not sure.
Hang on. Let me see if I can talk to my girlfriend. Let me see if she's still awake.
There you go.
And we go to voice.
How out of it we are, Cody. We don't know.
Hey, what's that again? Put that up again because I can't see it.
Oh, murder hoboing. One word. Though.
What? Hey, what is murder hoboing?
What the fuck is happening?
I don't know. She's not talking.
I hear it, but it sounds
I know.
like
I hear the same thing. It's not like you can hear it and I can't. I hear.
Oh, I didn't know if it was like happening.
Says, what the fuck? I don't know why I can't hear you. You're not talking correctly.
All right. I see it. Okay. So I had to sounds
so
like an 80s analog cell phone. It says murder hobo or murder hoboing is a term used pejoratively.
It's a tabletop game.
Yeah. It says for
like
player characters in role-playing games, both of them video and tabletop games. Yeah.
Characters that roam around, solve most problems with violence, and focusing on killing and looting rather than engaging with the story.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
NPCs are role-playing. The murder part comes from their quick resort to killing. Often, even when it's inappropriate, the hobos refer to their rootless, wandering lifestyle with no ties to a home or society, just moving from place to place for looting and quests. Usually seen as a derogatory term, especially when it disrupts the group's storytelling or Oh, okay. So murder hoboing is something that people do in Dungeons and Dragons. Kind of sort of. Am I right there, Cody? All right. Where do we know Cody from? Where's he from?
The Weathered Report. He's on.
Is he the one that when he's talking, you can barely hear him because he's like really, it's all muffled and mumbly? Maybe.
I don't think so. I don't think he sounds that way. But maybe. Cody said that was perfection. So well done.
Okay. Yeah, Cody, get a hold of me. I'll figure out what's wrong with your connection in the morning because this is what you sound like.
Well, I think he's on his phone.
Like, God damn it. I love to hear what he's saying.
I can hear what he's saying.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
Stop it.
I can hear him. You have to listen.
I can. What? I'm not. I can
listen. I don't
listen.
think his words cut out at all.
Well, then one of them does. I don't know which one it is.
Okay.
I can't tell. But Cody, welcome. Thank you for being here, Cody.
Thank you for coming over and getting abused by John.
Chase another one away, John. Kind. Why don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, here you go. See, Aaron says Cody is Beard Tucky.
Beard Tucky. Okay, no, he's not that one. There's another guy in there. It's very mumbly. I don't know who he is.
Okay.
You know, everybody knows who that person is. Stop it. Bruce, who's the mumbly guy in the chat in the morning? He's there usually almost every day. I don't know who he is.
All right, so Josh said, is Cody the one that's always in the shower? No, that's Aaron. That's
Aaron's
I had to say it.
Right.
I love that Aaron's in the shower, gets out, unmutes, says something, gets back in the shower, and then Bruce follows it back up, and then Cody, and then he has to get back out of the shower. What is happening?
You know, there's times where I'm listening to the show and I, like this morning, I'm just like, I got a cramp in my stomach. I got to go to the bathroom. So as I'm pulling my pants down and getting ready to hover my tush over the toilet.
John, what do you think?
I hear Bruce, okay, John, so what do you think? I'm like, oh no. So I quick unmute myself, hold the microphone way up high so you can't hear the noises.
Oh my God.
As I drop some kids off at the pool.
Jesus Christ.
As I hunk out a dirt snake.
Oh, you said that on when you're talking about Diane going up to use the bathroom. I almost fell off the chair laughing because I can think poor Diane when she comes back and hears you refer to her as defecating and honking out a dirt snake. Because she doesn't seem that way. So
she's very small, petite, very nice.
She's tiny. She's this tiny little thing. And it's just for you guys to say that shit about her. I'm like,
if she honked down any kind of snake, it'd be like a gardener.
She's so tiny, it'd be a little worm. But like, I can't imagine she didn't come back downstairs.
It'd be like that thing that they pulled out of that guy's neck and the Dr. Phil guy ate. That's the kind of dirt snake that Diane would.
That was a fun show the other day, by the way. That was very funny.
Brand X.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Plug.
Brand X on your podcast player of choice.
That's right. And they're throwing in retro episodes. So.
Throwing in retro episodes of us back when the 2016 when we started, and I could actually complete a sentence and had a little bit of a memory.
Yeah, it was funny.
We were talking earlier today. I always say that I have like brain fog, and that's why I put the nicotine patch on. Mm-hmm. And I said, yeah, like it's like having a foggy mountain breakdown. So like whenever I'm sitting there thinking and I can't think, I feel like playing this. It's my foggy mountain breakdown music. What was I thinking?
Not sure.
All right. All right, that's it. We're done until we're going to be here Monday.
We are going to be here Monday. I think Monday is like maybe a couple news things.
You know what we're going to do?
I think we should keep it light.
I think we're going to start with the movie thing. We got to get it out of the way.
Well, it'll be fun.
Sparky likes Brand X. Look at Sparky saying Brand X was making him bust a gut.
It was funny. I told you I'd listen to it at like 1.2 speed, like 1.25, and it was just fast enough. Like, because you guys, sometimes there's like longer pauses, like Deuce speaks very deliberately sometimes. So I just kind of nudged it just a little faster. So it was good.
Yeah.
It was better for me. Like I was shopping, so I was. But there's a couple times you said things, and I'm literally in the supermarket pulling shit off the shelves, just laughing, just like an idiot. You know,
it's fun. We do the same thing on the regular Brand X one. We meet once a month and we day drink. Also, with the Brand X podcast, I'm putting out vintage episodes, the date that they dropped in 2016. So there's one coming out, I think tomorrow, the 27th or something like that. And then I think there's one on the 31st too. So go over the Brand X podcast, subscribe to that, and then you'll get.
Now you say when you broadcast them again, you let people know that it's an old vintage episode, right? What voice do you use for that?
This voice.
The one you forget to turn off?
May 27th, 2016.
That's the one I use. So Cody says Aaron is an alleged serial killer, but he's pretty cool. I like the guy.
Yeah, as long as he's not. Yeah, serial killers are great as long as they're not coming after you. Yeah, that's great.
Just keep him talking, and that's the whole thing with Aaron. You keep him talking, he won't kill you. No
that's
talking.
Right.
Talking.
All right, it's time to do some plugs. If you guys want to get a mug or a tumbler, go over to horribledesigns.com.
Right. Get one of these.
Purchase these from Jason. He does a great job. I'll send them out to you. Very, very nice. Also, if you're crazy enough to want to a Boomer Bunker sticker,
Brand X.
Go to one of our social media or in our Discord.
Send me a message. Yeah.
That's it. Kate, finish my sentence.
Sorry. Send me a message on any of our social platforms.
God forbid I stumble, because Kate will just come right in and save me. Thank you, Kate. I appreciate it.
I'm amazing. What can I say?
All right. Can I tell you a little story about the...
You could.
I got to tell you this because it's the end of the show. If you get pissed off now, I don't really care. So,
great.
Anyhow, I am now secretly over in the Grand Rapid Retards chat.
Of course.
I have another account. I'm the Jimmy from South Carolina. And I'm over there in the chat, and he loves me over there.
Would you just out yourself now?
Maybe. Nobody from over there listens to me.
Probably.
I don't even remember my name. I have a Twitch account. Oh, I know what I am. I'm a slower, older, faster. Slower, older.
Not faster.
Slower, older.
What's your old handle? It's your old.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, slower, older, slower, something older. Whatever. That's what I am.
I can't even respond to that. You're like, it's slower. I don't know,
slower, something older.
Slow old man. Rah.
Yeah.
Ranty man.
And this is the picture I use for
that's disturbing picture of a clown.
That is me. That's my avatar over in the
oh my God.
Eric Zane thing.
That's horrifying. Okay.
Slower something. God damn it. What is it? Slower something. SOS. Slower, older.
Stupider.
Stupid, slower, older, stupider, whatever. Anyhow, I'm over there and I'm over there chatting it up with the Grand Rapid retard.
Oh yeah.
And, just to call myself the Jimmy from South Carolina. He loves me. What can I tell you?
I bet he does.
So, all right. Well, listen, everybody, have yourself a glorious Memorial
Remember the
Day
reason
weekend.
why you're off on Monday.
That's right. To eat hot dogs
and drink beer.
And drink beer.
And if you use American flags, buy an made American flag.
Yeah, why would you buy an American flag made in China?
There are so many made in China. It's
ridiculous.
Insane. I won't buy them if they're not made in America. Even the little cheapy ones. No, I don't, because I think it's important. It's kind of shitty to buy an American flag made in China.
I get it. All right, listen. Oh, almost forgot. We can't leave yet.
Oh, no. Would you forget?
We can't, because I have a voicemail.
We forgot all about those. Okay.
Almost forgot about the voicemails. We only got one. Oh. I don't know what happened to Half Black Dean, but we only have one.
Wait, Half Black who?
Half Black Neil.
Fully
white. But we
fully
did get one from
Dean.
Fully White Dean. We got one from Fully White Dean, but Half Black Neil, I think, unless he sent one.
Or no Black Dean and Half Black Neil.
No black. Yeah, no. Wait, Half Black Neil. There's no Half Black Neil.
Well, he's slacking.
Slacking.
Hey, fellas. Hey, fella.
Hey, fellas. All right. Here's Dean's voicemail.
All right.
Hey, bunker dwellers. What does the KKK and Nike have in common?
I know this one, but let's see if you know it.
I'm sure it's something about the swoosh, but I don't know.
No. Stop. Half Black Neil forgot. God damn it. He's only got one job. All right, here it is. What's the difference between what does Nike make? Damn it. Hold on.
Hey, bunker dwellers. What does the KKK and Nike have in common? They both make blacks run faster.
Oh my God. God. Stop that. Stop playing my laps.
Mike wasn't here, so I had to do it.
You suck. Sparky wants to know if we had any response from the analog clock guy.
No. I'm shocked that I haven't heard from him. What's his name?
I don't know.
What's his name?
I forgot.
I know his girlfriend, his fiance's name's Trinity. What, Daniel? No. Yeah, Daniel.
Daniel. Well, why don't
Jesus
you send him
Christ.
a message?
I guess I could. But, I don't want to sit there and say, well, what'd you think about my clock video?
You can say to him, hey, people have been asking. You got a response.
Well, he'll hear it. He listens.
Okay.
I'm sure, hopefully, he'll send something.
Send
Where's the rest of you people? How come it's only Dean and Half Black Neil? Now Half Black Neil's forgetting.
I know. Priorities. How rude.
All right. Let's wrap this up.
Bring it on home.
Bring it on home. We'll see you guys on Monday. Take care.
Appreciate everything. Bye.